Hey, welcome back, guys. It's been a busy couple days. We had a visitor in the pond that I'm going to show you today. Put the gazebo together. So I'll do a quick little update video and stick around. Look at this, someone found it. Look! Okay, so first thing, gazebo got put together. This thing was about 10 hours of work. So it was quite a bit, but it's actually really nice. So we don't have any furniture in it yet, but it's pretty nice. It's a nice view. The shading is really good. I guess I can show you. It's a 12 by 18, so it's all screened. It's got this poly sliding window, so you can put the windows up. I can turn it into a seed start greenhouse style thing in the wintertime, or at least, you know, very early spring. That's as far as the doors open. I would have liked if they could open a little more, but I guess that's about as good as it is. It's bug netting underneath the deck, so it should be bug free. The only thing is there's a gap above the doors. Not sure if I could show you that. So we did end up having to buy a bunch of these, and I'm basically gonna cut them and jam them in to fill that gap so that bugs can't get in. I hate buying stuff like that. So that kind of sucks, but I just hate waste. I hate non-natural materials. I know I gotta make concessions now and then. I can't be all crazy, super permaculture hippie. But I do try to take it to the extreme that I can. This ended up still nice and decently open. So overall, pretty nice. I kind of like it. All this is a little bigger than I think I would pick, but my wife and family really wanted a place to entertain guests, and so I think it was a nice, good compromise. I think it's all right. And then this here, the clover is starting to sprout. This was the Father's Day cherry tree, so the clover is starting to sprout, so that's good. We added some chives in here. And I'll show you the guests that we had. Look at this, someone found it. Look! Look! Did you see that?
No.
It's a turtle. I just don't know if it's a snapper.
Where?
He just came. Sorry, I know I'm shaking a bunch. He came from all the way up here.
Is he in the water?
Yeah.
Where is he now?
I don't know.
How big was it?
I don't know. Like a foot. Where the heck did he go? I found him. He's right in between the... I don't know if it's a snapper or not. I think it is. Its neck is really long. And I think it's like snappers have diamond-shaped patterns on their shells. He's under this log here.
Oh, he looks big.
Yeah. We gotta get him out.
Huh?
I mean, they're probably gonna find it, but I can't even believe he was just like walking casually down my path. I scrambled to get my phone in time. I only got him like on the last step jumping in.
I'm looking up and see if he is. Look, he's trying to come up. I wonder if there's something else. Like, what about a bucket?
I think it is a snapper. I think if they have that serrated shell and the diamond-shaped ridges on his shell, I think like the pyramids, I think that makes it a snapper. And then he's got those like spikes coming out of his neck.
Harry, over here.
His head's fully extended. I don't even think he could get out. So, tell me, is this a snapping turtle? I think it is. So, downside of the pond is that if you build it, life will come. Upside is if you build it, life will come, but downside is the exact same. Alright, so I'm gonna go drive this guy away from here and put him into a swamp somewhere and stop freaking him out and get him somewhere he can live without biting my toes off.
Take a picture of his tail, like a good picture of his tail, because I'm pretty sure that that is a snapping turtle. Yeah, are you pausing it?
Okay, so I drove him about 10 minutes down the road closer to the highway. There's a little pond there with a river system that he can get into, so dropped them off there. I know there's probably lots of them around here. Like, I built that wetland guild because I have areas that kind of are prone to flooding. The lowlands of my land, there's pockets where there's, you know, stagnant water. So I guess I have snapping turtles kind of native on my land here. So anyways, relocated him as best I could, and hopefully he has a nice life further away from my pond, and hopefully none of his brothers and sisters come live in the pond. That was just a baby. You know, they can get really big. They can get maybe 5 times that size, 3 times that size. So the snappers can get pretty big, size of a beach ball. So hopefully he lives a nice life somewhere else and I don't get any more. I'm sure that, you know, we've only had the pond for a little while. We've had cranes, we've had a fisher, we've had ducks land, tons of frogs, now a snapping turtle, snakes. So I guess when you build an ecosystem pond, part of that is that you create an actual ecosystem. Yeah, so just, I like it still. I don't know if my wife will ever go in that pond again. Hopefully she does, but I don't know if she will. Fish are getting big. I don't know how well you can see them here. Probably pretty good. So the most we've seen at any given time is 9, and we put 10 in. So it's possible something got one of them. Like I said, we had the crane and heron come by. We've also seen what are they called? The pincer beetles. I forget what they're called. We've seen those as well. So it's possible that beetle took down one of the smallest ones. But they roam in a pack now, which is kind of cool. They all stay together. And they're doing well. They're loving their life, I'm sure. So water quality is still really good. They say it takes about 2 years to get a natural balance to your pond. So what happens in the beginning is it takes time for the plant roots to really grow down, but algae can establish really quickly. So the first year is supposed to be an algae battle. It hasn't been too bad. There's definitely been algae. But basically, you know, in permaculture we say nature doesn't do waste. So I very much believe in that, and we have been chopping and dropping the algae. So, you know, around all the plants, we'll harvest some algae and we'll just drop it down. So it's all basically taking nutrient out of the pond and turning into, you know, after a couple days, this is what the algae looks like. Like if you just leave it in a mat. And that'll just eventually turn to soil. So we just harvest the algae. It grows the most in the shallow shelves, which is expected, because that's where it's warmest, the phototropic layer. And the idea is that eventually we're going to have plants spread through here and shade the water, and then also outcompete the nutrient nitrogenous waste with the algae. So we have stuff like water hyacinth, which is extremely invasive in some spots. Here it's not invasive. Starting to put on a new baby, that's good. A runner. Just starting now. It's been a slow season for them. I'm pretty sure that they came out earlier. And then we have water lettuce again. It can be invasive as well. It spreads quite a bit. I want that here. This is a contained ecosystem. You know, it doesn't run into another waterway anywhere. The stream runs down here, a waterfall into a pit, like a 9 or 10 foot deep pit there, and then that gets pumped up to the wetland and to the waterfall. So this is all self-contained. So none of this water hyacinth or water lettuce can get out of here. So the idea is that it will grow and establish and spread on the top layer and shade the water out. We can swim in the middle section. And then I can harvest that water hyacinth and water lettuce and use it to feed compost or my tree systems. So it's just been slower getting established than I thought. The plants, the wetland. You can see here I haven't collected any algae from this wetland at all. The algae is kind of cool. It's not gross and slimy. It's kind of like a hair. Like, I mean, it's just a plant. It's not really slimy at all. It's just kind of like this cool hair. And you basically just grab it. You pick your favorite plant. And give it some algae. Right on top of the wood chips. High nitrogen algae on top of high carbon wood chips. And it should break down fairly quick. But at the same time, a little algae is actually good because it's, you know, doing photosynthesis, capturing carbon, growing, storing the carbon in its plant cell walls, and it's removing that nitrogenous waste from the pond to keep the water clear. It actually will oxygenate the water as well. So like when I harvest algae, sometimes you see quite a bit of bubbles coming out. That's all entrained gases that is inside the plant. So a little bit of algae is actually healthy for a pond, but you don't want it, taking over the whole pond. So over time, more of these shelves will be more lilies, more hyacinths, more shallow water emergent plants, deep water emergent plants, and less algae. But there should always still be some algae. But overall, I'm loving the pond so far. I'm in it every day. It's really, really comfortable temperature. It's like 80 degrees. I'm actually surprised how warm it is. And then at the same time, I'm surprised how warm it isn't, because we've had a couple really hot days, really scorchers, and like 100-degree days at least. And the pond has actually stayed cool. So because of the thermal mass of all the rock, it stays cool in the hot temps, but then it'll also store a lot of heat on those cooler days. So it just takes a long time to heat up. But overall, I've been really, really, really loving this and watching all the plants kind of start to grow. Really, really fun. Except maybe the snapper. That was a little concerning. Probably the most concerning thing that I've had, because I've got kids with small toes and fingers. So we're going to have to think about how we're handling that. So other than that, maybe I'll do a garden walkthrough tomorrow. A little garden update. I've been really, really busy, so kind of neglectful of all this other stuff, building the gazebo. And my parents are actually moving, so my mom's getting old, so I've been out helping her quite a bit. And just a whole bunch of other stuff that had to kind of get sorted out. So we've been gobbling on strawberries. That should be probably done for a little while now. I don't know, let's see. Do we have any in here? Yeah, still got quite a few of them. So, lots of really fresh, delicious strawberries that taste unbelievable. Oh, like the taste is just crazy. It's really nice to just be able to walk out here and pick some. Birds have been getting a couple. If I let them get too ripe, like this is ideal. If you let them get too ripe, I find the slugs find them. So you do want to kind of pick them a little early. Just a tiny bit. I mean, the stores will pick them basically when they're still green. So even you picking them a little bit early, and that's just basically, something that I've learned over the years. I'll let this one go for one more day. But that's something that I've learned over the years is If you let them go until they're ripe, then you'll probably be picking slugs off them and maybe fruit flies. But if you pick them when they're just finishing going completely red, then you should be pretty good. And then it keeps slug problems down because you don't have a bunch in there that are always ready. See, so just something like this. Good? Yeah. See, I shouldn't show her where it is. I know you've been in here. I can see your footprints. All right, we'll see you next time. I'll do an update video tomorrow, hopefully.